Ladies and gentlemen, Mariah Carey.
By 2001, 30-year-old Mariah Carey was no longer just a singer. She was an actor, producer, and megastar. With an upcoming album and movie to promote, Mariah settled into her usual routine: work, work, and more work.
Mariah's workaholism is based around the fact that she has to have it look perfect, sound perfect, and be perfect.
In the spring of 2001, Mariah went to Spain to work on the Glitter soundtrack album. Carey's boyfriend of 3 years, Latin pop singer Luis Miguel, accompanied her. Mariah's nephew, Sean McDonald.
I think that eventually they were too dissimilar in certain ways, what they enjoyed to do. In the end, they didn't have as much in common as she initially thought.
With the Glitter album completed, Mariah left Spain and returned to New York. In July, the couple parted ways. The tabloids couldn't resist running stories about the breakup of pop music's royal couple. To hype the upcoming soundtrack, Virgin Records rushed to get Carey's new single, Loverboy, into stores. The record, however, was a disappointment.
After a history of having number ones, if you have a song that's in the 70s, crawling its way up, that's the worst reviewed.
Mariah wasn't about to let her album fail. She threw herself into promotion, flying to Europe for a 7-city, 14-day tour. Mariah returned to the United States to do more press, but her efforts were fruitless. Loverboy sales continued to lag.
To be a failure at that point, that's fear. I mean, that's real fear right there.
Mariah was facing stiff competition for radio airplay and album sales from a whole new crop of teen pop sensations.
She ain't the biggest star that she used to be because there was no competition. And now it's just competition. I think people got to get used to it. There's going to be a lot of stars out here. The world is trending. The world is moving fast. They're always looking for that next new star.
Mariah worked day and night making the media rounds, including a surprise visit to the set of MTV's Total Request Live.
She showed up on the show seemingly out of it physically or mentally. She just seemed to not be in the best shape. Her mind seemed to be wandering. She seemed to be stammering. At one point, she began what turned into an impromptu striptease on camera that had everybody, Carson Daly included, in a state of shock.
Rumors and media speculation about Mariah's state of mind abounded. Just 2 days later, Mariah made a promotional appearance at the FYE Music Store in Garden City, New Jersey.
I just think I'm a human being that's trying to live like everybody else. I don't know what I am other than a person that needs one day, like this is my kind of like my day off.
Carey could no longer hide her frazzled nerves.
We're all just living in the moment of being positive, and there's like people called haters. No, Cindy, one more thing. And we give them positivity.
Let's go. Stop.
You see, I can't even get a minute. Bye.
Come on.
Roque Jimenez is Mariah's personal hairstylist.
She was always like dealing with business stuff from another time zone, and she would get like 2 hours of sleep, and after accumulation of a couple days of not sleeping, you know what I mean? It starts to make you like, very punchy.
If you were to sit across from her and she hadn't slept for 2 or 3 days, you wouldn't know. But I think that the people around her maybe had assumed that that was the case.
For many years, Mariah was able to push herself and persevere, although she also recognized that this habit was problematic.
You know what, sometimes I just have to just let it go. And sometimes when I'm exhausted and just going through a tough time, it's an emotionally draining thing, and so I think you can't isolate yourself.
By July 2001, Carey was overwhelmed and physically drained.
We were working like around the clock. We were like working like crazy. She was doing interviews when I was going to sleep, so I'd go to sleep for a few hours and Mariah would sleep for even less.
Welcome to my world here.
On July 25th, an exhausted Mariah left several revealing audio messages on her website. The singer told her fans that she needed a break.
These messages have not stayed on the website very long because her people have thought it was in her best interest that Mariah not be bearing her soul like this.
On July 25th, 2001, an exhausted Mariah arrived at the home of her mother, Patricia. Family members were shocked by her appearance. In the early morning hours, Mariah voluntarily checked herself into a hospital in Westchester County, New York. The next day, publicist Cindy Berger released a statement explaining that Mariah had an emotional and physical breakdown. The tabloid media had a field day.
They were trying to find something. Her addiction is her love for what she does. Her addiction is her love for the fans. Her addiction is being a workaholic?
Well, she is a workaholic. She works a lot. She's very demanding of herself. You know, I mean, she's a perfectionist. She writes her own music. She produces her own music. She's very hands-on with everything. So it's kind of hard for her. It's hard to let any of that stuff go.
Mariah's Hospitalization sent the marketing people at Virgin Records and 20th Century Fox into a frenzy. The release of the Glitter soundtrack was pushed back 2 weeks to September 11th. The movie was also delayed until September 21st, 2001. On August 8th, after a 12-day stay, Mariah checked out of the hospital. The singer was optimistic.
She felt like she could go in, and because of what she perceived as her own inner strength, she could deal with this in a day or two and get out and be normal again. She needed a lot more time in that hospital. You don't overcome that kind of exhaustion in a couple of days.
On September 6th, Mariah admitted herself into the UCLA Medical Center in Los Angeles. Carey's publicist stated that Carey was continuing to recover and needed more time to rest.
Personally, I think she is probably, if not reached totally rock bottom at this point, emotionally and otherwise, she's very close to it.
Coming up,
things look real grim for Mariah right now. I mean, to the public at large, she looks like she's hanging on by her fingernails.